He just got to Athens, and he's making a big impression. Ryan Curley. Who am I talking about?
Zachariah Branch, he's made a big impression on a lot of people. I think that he is tabbed as one of the most impactful non-quarterback transfers in college football, as there's a lot of movement among the quarterback position, but he's going to be a difference maker for Georgia in their case, hopefully on 2 phases out of 3, special teams and offense, and that's what you get with Zachariah Branch. But he's gotten a lot of praise. I think back to what KJ Bolden said about him in the spring, called him a monster, said it wasn't fun to guard him in practice, right? And I mean, we're talking about a guy that's 5'9", 5'10", sub 200 pounds, that you just can't get your hands on. That's the type of football player he is. He's the type of player Georgia didn't have on offense last year. We were rewatching some games from the 2022 season last night, and you look at that, and they're just filled with studs, filled with guys that you get the ball in their hands, you think that there's a chance that they can score. That's the first person that you point at on Georgia's offense this year, and you have that notion with the Zachariah Branch.
Yeah, hey, first team, All-SEC return specialist, Chris Doering, who is, no idiot when it comes to receivers, talking about he feels like he's the fifth best receiver in a conference that's got some really good receivers. Ryan Williams,
Ken Coleman, Eric Singleton. It's a lot of guys.
Some guys for sure. Look, he's got to stay healthy. This is a different league. This is a different situation in terms of that front. Little guys like this were the most annoying people for me in athletics because I'm a bigger person to deal with. But when you've got KJ, who's not a little person either, talking about how annoying he is. KJ with speed. There's some real opportunity there. What it makes me think about, though, too, Ryan, is, in addition, what's he going to open up for other people? We were watching that 22 team last year. We were watching the Tech game and
watched a little bit of the State game.
And like Darnell Washington opened up for Ladd. Ladd opened up for, Brock Bowers, etc. And then Kenny McIntyre. Ladd McConkey's really, really good. So is Brock Bowers. That offensive line was good, for sure. Jones, Xavier Truss. Well, excuse me. It was a Truss, Jones.
Mims was on that
Mims
line.
was who I was trying to spit out a second ago. So
McClendon.
It was a good, but it wasn't like crazy full of elite everywhere. But it was good now. But everybody, it was just across the board. They had scary guys. Zachariah Branch definitely is scary. And I think if you're worried about him, then that means you got to be less worried about, say, Dylan Bell, who I think is a very explosive player. But everything's got to go hand in hand, and I think it's step one to getting to where they want to go offensively, which is having weapons again. They got to make it happen. Let me make sure you're making this happen. Sign up for our newsletter. The link is going to be down below during the video. I don't know if I'm going to time it up exactly right. I'm doing my best for y'all on that front. But make sure you're not missing on that newsletter. It's really awesome. You're getting it. It's free. Doesn't cost anything. You see the QR code. I'm not sure there is a code to stop this guy. You're gonna have to get to the ball quick and hope he does not get loose on you.
Yeah, you would think that they're going to be creative in how they can get him the ball, because he can beat certain guys downfield. You can get him on screen passes. You can get him on drags and just get him out in open space. But like you were saying a minute or two ago, kind of another way to articulate it, is he going to open things up for Kobe Young, right? Well, the attention that he brings, mostly from a slot position, will that give Kobe Young or Noah Thomas one-on-one opportunities when physically they're going to be challenging against even really good corners in the SEC? Dylan Bell, I think that he's their most versatile weapon in terms of they can just use him in a lot of different ways, and I think that having Branch there helps. I mean, you saw what Dylan Bell could do when Ladd McConkey was a part of the offense, when Brock Bowers was a part of the offense. They all complemented each other. Zachariah Branch has star potential, I think, when you look at this and you think about the high school recruiting, which is not end-all be-all. We just named a bunch of guys that weren't highly recruited. But he's a very unique piece. And when you have unique pieces put together, it's hard to stop them all at once. That's why you saw in 2022 how explosive Georgia's offense was. You see other places like Alabama's had multiple weapons where you can't ignore them, right? They have Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith and John Mechie and all these guys on the same team.
How much was Dylan Bell in the slot last year?
I don't think he was in the slot as much as he was in 2023. And part of that is just because they had Dominic Lovett, they had Arian Smith, they wanted in that spot. Anthony Evans got some looks at that spot.
Yeah.
And Dylan Bell really wasn't asked to do as much, I thought, as he was in 2023 in terms of versatility in his role. But Zachariah Branch should open things up, and not to mention a fairly inexperienced quarterback in Gunnar Stockton. You just need skill position guys that can beat you.
Well, there's not a lot of James Cooks running around in Georgia. And what this gives you the ability to do if you're Mike Bobo is one guy can make a difference. Now, it's not about any one guy, but one guy can make a difference. We rewatched the Sugar last night. Gunnar Stockton played pretty well, I have to say. I mean that ball that he hit to Arian Smith, which should have been a ball on the 10-yard line. They only get a field goal out of it because of that penalty, this, that, and the other. He's got more sets of weapons now, and he's going to have to effectively use them, and we'll just see if he does. When things aren't going well, I mean, they did not play well against State in 22. They did not play well against Georgia Tech in 22. We saw that. They did not play well. That team won the national championship by the most numerical value in the history of the sport. It's the largest bowl game victory ever. And so that's what that team did, is they could catch fire real quick. This team's got to kind of do that. I mean, I think that's the part to me that if they'll just do that, this is a whole other level you can get to, but that includes Branch. Now, my big concern, Ryan, before I start talking about the T-shirt, is can he stay healthy? Like, I mean, I hate to be like that, but...
And that wasn't really an issue for him at
SC.
At SC. Excuse me, I was about to say Ole Miss. I knew it was SC. I mean, that's the case for a lot of people. I think with him, obviously, there's a size, but you've seen smaller guys stay healthy and be successful. Georgia's had a guy like that, like Isaiah McKenzie, who was very effective. I think when you look at those teams that were just stacked, different guys could show up in different moments.
Yeah.
They didn't have that last year. Different guys weren't showing up in different moments.
They weren't stealing games, as I
call it.
They weren't.
Yeah, stealing games is a good way to put it. Cheap points, right? Just, hey, our guy's better than you. We're going to go to this. That's a part of why they brought Zachariah Branch in, because they saw what they had last year. No offense to Arian Smith, Dominic Lovett, and the group of receivers they had last year, just wasn't getting it done. That's why they're replacing them. That's why they're adding people in. Is he one of the 5 best receivers in the conference? I don't know. The conference has a lot of really good wide receivers.
Well, let me just say this though. He is a game changer.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think to me last year the only game changer they had was Dylan Bell, and he just didn't have a game changing season at all. And when I say, what do you mean? People say, well, what are you talking about with Dylan Bell? Well, I remember the way he played against Tennessee in 23. I remember the way he was against South Carolina as a running back in 23. I know what Dylan Bell can do. Now,
against Alabama.
Yeah.
I mean, if Dylan Bell isn't making plays downfield, they're not in the position they're in, and he scored multiple touchdowns in that game.
I mean, so I guess what I'm trying to say is they have a game changer now. Now, you got to have a good season, and that's up to them. Before it's too late. I put the shirt on this time. It's
got a little corner.
Yeah, okay.
There.
Hey,
it's laundry day.
Yeah. We got our Frocket up here. I put my phone up there, except it's recording. Look, it's a great way to support us. It's to support Red Zone. It helps us travel. We got to go to Mississippi State this year. Obviously, always to Jacksonville, Auburn, Knoxville. Any of the things. I don't know how we're going to handle Thanksgiving yet necessarily. So there's some stuff on that front, but we've always got things to think about. It's a way to support us. It's a way to make things a little bit easier for us. Could have the SEC championship game. Could have the Cotton Bowl, the Rose Bowl. We don't know.
We could be sent
the Outback
anywhere.
Bowl. I mean, I don't know. So it's a great way to support us. It's a really neat shirt. A lot of people want it. A lot of people have been buying it. A lot of people are going to want to see what Zachariah Branch is really up to. We're going to see real quick. He should flash against Marshall. The first 2 games he should flash. I remember watching him at SC. I mean, the kid was legit. in the return game, scary. But
he could be special in that aspect. And if you were at G-Day, obviously it wasn't streamed and it really wasn't a way to distribute highlights. But at G-Day, Kirby blew the whistle dead. I think he blew it dead because he just wanted them to have an offensive drive. No one's asked him about that. It's kind of past history now. But Zachariah Branch was going to score a 95-yard punt return touchdown.
Yeah, he probably shouldn't have picked that ball up.
No, but he was going to score anyway, and there's something to be said about that.
Well, there's something to be said for not returning it at the 5. But
But it shows, hey, this is a guy, when he has the ball, it doesn't really matter on the field. He is a threat to score. There just aren't a ton of players like that.
And it was just shocking to say about at Georgia. I want to say that too. Like, so to some degree, you don't want to put all of your eggs in the basket of Zachariah Branch, but they meant that he gives them an opportunity. They've been missing that lately. Don't miss another one of these videos. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.